Under the shade of the Bodhi tree, Buddha sat in serene contemplation. His disciples gathered around him in quiet attentiveness. A disciple named Ananda spoke, his voice trembling with vulnerability, confessing the struggle he faced with his mind's restless whispers. Ananda approached the Buddha, his steps hesitant, his heart burdened with questions he had yet to share aloud. The Buddha greeted Ananda with a serene smile, his gaze radiating compassion that soothed even the deepest unrest. "Blessed One," Ananda began, bowing deeply, "I am troubled by the offerings of flesh presented by the villagers recently." The Buddha gestured for Ananda to sit beside him, his movements harmonious with the calm of the surrounding evening. "Ananda," the Buddha spoke gently, "why does this offering weigh heavily upon your heart?" Ananda paused, collecting thoughts, his voice trembling. "Does accepting meat conflict with our path of compassion toward all living beings?" The Buddha looked towards the horizon, his eyes reflecting the universal truth of interconnected existence. "Compassion," he said slowly, "is not limited to rejection but extended through understanding and intention that transcends physical acts." Ananda tilted his head slightly, listening intently to each word as if gathering jewels to treasure forever. "Tell me, Ananda," the Buddha continued, "what is the true essence of desire that breeds suffering among all beings?" "It is attachment," Ananda answered after deep reflection. "Desire binds us to suffering through attachment to fleeting forms." Suta's field lay barren, the once fertile soil now hardened with neglect, the Buddha stated. His disciples nodded solemnly, some recognizing themselves in the tale of the young farmer. "Once, in my youth, my heart wrestled with questions of inadequacy. I sought perfection but found only sorrow and discontent. The intention," the Buddha spoke, "defines the nature of the act. Purity lies in the offering's sincerity, not the form." Ananda pondered deeply, the contrast between the purity of intention and the perceived harm in action weighing his heart. To abstain from harm, the Buddha explained, is noble, but understanding where harm lies holds the power of compassion. Ananda questioned, "Do those who abstain from meat gain deeper virtue than those who consume it?" "Blessed One," the Buddha reflected, his voice solemn yet gentle, "virtue arises from intention. Judging others fosters pride and attachment beyond nourishment." Ananda gazed at the villagers, working diligently to present offerings prepared with love and reverence for the monks. "Ananda," the Buddha said, "notice the villagers. Their hearts radiate sincerity through these offerings, bridging compassion beyond culinary choices." Ananda nodded faintly, his thoughts absorbed, as if unraveling the subtle intricacies woven within a single moment's truth. "Vegetarianism," the Buddha clarified, "exists as a noble choice. Yet judgment disturbs its harmony by fostering separation and attachment." Ananda felt the wisdom resound within, enlightening his views on acts carried by deeper intentions than mere consumption. A river does not pause to question its worth when it meets resistance. It moves forward, adapting to each challenge in its path. Let your mind be like the river, accepting the rocks of doubt and finding new paths without losing its flow, his disciples observed. The river in contemplative silence, the natural world offering lessons more profound than any words spoken aloud. "I understand, Blessed One," Ananda said, bowing with gratitude. "Compassion thrives through mindfulness, not separation, for harm arises even in abstention." The Buddha smiled softly, guiding his disciples toward reflection that nurtured insight beyond attachment to rigid ideals. Ananda hesitated before replying, "Master, I fear that embracing my flaws will make me complacent and prevent me from striving for better." The Buddha smiled gently, his expression filled with understanding, and responded with measured wisdom tailored to Ananda's concern. The Jetavana monastery echoed a rare peace. as lessons of intention and interconnected compassion permeated the lives of disciples. From that day, Ananda pondered vegetarianism not merely as abstention but as a mindful choice rooted in intention. Another day, the sun rose gently over the verdant fields as farmers began their labor beneath the endless blue sky. The tranquil Jetavana monastery echoed the calls of distant birds, a melody mingling with the disciples' rhythmic chanting of mantras. A weary farmer, Sadhaka, approached the monastery, his clothes dusted with the soil of his fields. His expression troubled, he bowed deeply before the Buddha, his voice trembling. "Blessed One, I seek guidance for the burdens my labor brings." The Buddha gestured kindly for Sadhaka to sit, his gaze radiating a profound calm that eased the farmer's apprehension. "Speak freely, Sadhaka," the Buddha said, his voice gentle yet steady. "Let your concerns unfold like petals of a lotus." Sadhaka took a deep breath, his hands clasped tightly. "My work harms the creatures of the earth. This guilt troubles my heart." The Buddha listened intently, his stillness a reflection of the infinite patience that embraced all suffering beings. "Blessed One," Sadhaka continued, "each harvest displaces worms, insects, and birds. I struggle to reconcile my toil with compassion." The Buddha regarded Sadhaka with a look of deep understanding, as if seeing the ripples of his actions across time. "To live, Sadhaka," the Buddha began, "is to tread upon this earth, inevitably causing harm in ways we cannot foresee." Sadhaka's brow furrowed, his soul seeking solace in the midst of this eternal truth of interconnected existence. "But, Blessed One," Sadhaka asked, "how can I walk this path, knowing my actions disturb the harmony of other lives?" The Buddha extended his hand toward the earth, his fingers brushing the soil. "What lies beneath this soil, Sadhaka?" Sadhaka responded slowly. "Beneath the soil dwell the creatures that sustain its richness, allowing the crops to grow and nourish us." "Indeed," the Buddha replied, "the soil teems with life, unseen yet vital, embodying the delicate balance of interdependence." Sadhaka's gaze dropped to the ground, his heart heavy with the awareness of the countless lives sustained by his work. "Compassion," the Buddha said softly, "is not the absence of harm, but the presence of care and mindful intention." Sadhaka looked up, his eyes searching the Buddha's face for wisdom to guide his choices amidst this complex reality. "Do you tend your fields with malice, Sadhaka, or with the hope of nourishing those who depend on you?" "With hope, Blessed One," Sadhaka replied, his voice wavering. "I labor for my family and community, not with the intent to harm." The Buddha nodded, his expression calm. "Then your actions carry the seed of compassion, even amidst the unavoidable harm of life." Sadhaka felt a flicker of relief but remained contemplative. "Blessed One, does this mean my actions are blameless?" The Buddha's gaze deepened. "Blamelessness is not ours to claim. What matters is our sincerity and effort to minimize suffering. To till the soil with awareness," the Buddha continued, "to tread lightly where possible. These are the virtues of mindful living." Sadhaka's heart lifted slightly, though questions still lingered. "How do I reconcile this with the greater path of enlightenment?" "Enlightenment," the Buddha said, his tone thoughtful, "is found not in perfection but in harmony with the truths of existence." "The truths?" Sadhaka asked, his curiosity urging him forward. "How can these truths illuminate my humble path?" "Blessed One, the first truth," the Buddha explained, "is that life is interwoven. Each action ripples through the web of existence. The second truth," he continued, "is that intention guides these ripples, shaping the impact of our actions upon others. The third truth," the Buddha added, "is that mindfulness allows us to act with care, reducing harm where it is possible." Sadhaka listened intently, the Buddha's words settling into his soul like seeds awaiting the nourishing rains of understanding. To walk the path, the Buddha concluded, is to balance these truths, embracing both the complexity and simplicity of life. Sadhaka bowed deeply, his spirit humbled yet uplifted. Blessed One, your words bring light to the shadows of my doubt. The Buddha placed a hand upon Sadhaka's shoulder. Go forth, farmer, and let your actions be guided by mindful compassion. As Sadhaka departed, he felt a renewed sense of purpose, his steps lighter as he returned to his fields. In the days that followed, Sadhaka worked with greater care, tending not just to his crops but to the creatures around him. The Jetavana monastery watched quietly as the Buddha's wisdom flowed outward, touching lives and kindling mindfulness in all it reached. The disciples reflected deeply, inspired by Sadhaka's journey and the teachings that illuminated the intricate dance of existence. Through the Buddha's words, they learned that compassion was not an escape from complexity but a way to embrace it fully. The sun set over the fields, its golden light blending into the horizon, as harmony began to sprout within Sadhaka's heart. And so, another day ended, its lessons woven into the tapestry of lives that sought understanding and interconnected. Peace. Another day, the Jetavana monastery prepared for the festival of Vesak, its courtyards bustling with villagers bringing offerings and decorations. The scent of freshly cooked dishes filled the air, mingling with the faint aroma of incense burning in quiet reverence. Monks and disciples worked alongside villagers, arranging platters of fruits, grains, and delicacies on tables beneath the vast blue sky. The Buddha emerged from the main hall, his presence calming the lively chatter, bringing a serene stillness to the gathering. A villager named Raman approached, bowing deeply. Blessed One, we have prepared this feast, yet I fear it may sow discord among us. The Buddha regarded Raman with gentle curiosity, his voice soothing. What troubles your heart, Raman, on this day of celebration? Raman hesitated, his hands clasped tightly. Some among us bring meat offerings, others abstain, and disagreements arise about what is virtuous. The Buddha's gaze swept across the gathering, observing the diversity of offerings and the quiet tension among some villagers. Let us sit together, the Buddha said, and reflect upon the essence of unity that this festival seeks to honor. The disciples and villagers gathered in a circle, their attention fixed upon the Buddha, their hearts open to his wisdom. Raman, the Buddha began, his voice steady. What does this feast symbolize to you and to the community gathered here? Raman replied thoughtfully, it is a celebration of your birth, enlightenment, and passing, a time to honor the path you illuminate. The Buddha nodded. Indeed, this day reflects the Dharma, the unity of all beings, and the harmony we strive to nurture. Yet, the Buddha continued, unity does not mean sameness. It embraces diversity, as a river gathers waters from many tributaries. A disciple named Subhadra spoke, Blessed One, does accepting all offerings, including meat, not dilute the principle of compassion we hold dear? The Buddha looked kindly at Subhadra, his expression serene. Compassion, dear disciple, is not bound to physical acts alone but to the heart's intention. Consider this, the Buddha said, when a villager offers meat with sincerity, does the act diminish their love or respect? Subhadra pondered the question, his brow furrowed. No, Blessed One, their offering reflects their reverence, even if their choice differs from others' paths. The Buddha's gaze softened. Then let us ask, does refusing their offering foster harmony, or does it create division among us? It creates division, Subhadra admitted, his voice quiet, as the villagers listened intently, their own reflections mirrored in his words. Compassion, the Buddha explained, thrives in understanding and acceptance. not in judgment that alienates or elevates one path above another. Raman spoke again, his tone seeking clarity. But, Blessed One, should we not guide others toward choices that reduce harm to all beings? The Buddha regarded Raman with a thoughtful expression. Guidance must arise from kindness, not from imposition, which breeds resistance and attachment. A choice rooted in mindfulness, the Buddha continued, holds greater virtue than one made under compulsion or fear of judgment. The villagers exchanged glances, their hearts resonating with the Buddha's words, sensing the deeper wisdom woven into his teachings. On this day, the Buddha said, "Let our offerings reflect not perfection, but the sincerity and love within our hearts." He gestured toward the platters. Each dish, whether simple or elaborate, tells a story of labor, care, and intention to nurture others. A young child approached the Buddha timidly, holding a small bowl of rice. "Blessed One, I offer this. Will it please you?" The Buddha knelt to the child's level, his smile radiant. "Your offering pleases me, for it comes from a heart full of love." The child beamed with joy, her gesture reminding the gathering of the pure essence of generosity untainted by expectation or pride. The Buddha rose, addressing the assembly. Unity arises not from uniformity but from the harmony of diverse intentions joined in shared purpose. Let this feast, the Buddha continued, be a reflection of the middle way, where balance and understanding guide our actions. A monk asked, "Blessed One, does this middle way extend to the choices we make in our daily lives beyond this day?" The Buddha replied, "Indeed, the middle way is a path of mindfulness that bridges extremes, fostering compassion in all circumstances. The food we eat," the Buddha elaborated, "is but one aspect of life. Let us extend this mindfulness to every action and thought." The villagers nodded, their initial tension dissipating, replaced by a sense of unity grounded in shared values and mutual respect. The Buddha raised a cup of tea, his gesture inviting all to join in a moment of gratitude for the meal prepared. "May this feast," the Buddha said, "be a reminder of our interconnectedness and the boundless compassion we aspire to cultivate." As the gathering shared the meal, the teachings of the Buddha resonated, their hearts united in a renewed spirit of understanding. The moon rose high above the monastery, its soft light illuminating the faces of those who had gathered in celebration. Sudama walked by the lotus pond, the flowers seemingly nodding in silent agreement with the truths he had now embraced. Another day faded into the night, leaving behind the seeds of strength and understanding that had been planted beneath the Bodhi tree. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.